Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Modded Megaquarium, a brutal campaign mode. Thank you for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Now, if you remember at the end of last episode, we did have some problems with our money. We hired a couple of new members of staff, or at least one new member of staff, and we were still having real problems. Now I have overcome that slightly, not greatly, not enough, definitely not enough, but we should be able to do some more as well. Now what I've done is I've actually increased the price of my gift shops. Because we don't have that many available to us within this level, we have to make the most of them possible. And you can already see the effects of it down here with those red prestige signs coming up. It is going to tank, in the short term, it will tank our prestige just slightly. If we come over to the guest forts here, you can see we've got -6 for the neon tetras. However, I'm willing to take this on because the other thing that would happen if we didn't do this is that we'd totally run out of money and we wouldn't be able to carry on. We'd just lose the level, eventually anyway, because we'd be so far into the red that we wouldn't be able to carry on. So I'm willing to take that little bit of prestige hit every so often. I mean, it's not going to get huge compared to some of the other stuff we're getting. We're getting the guidebooks for fizzy drink, the chocolates and everything. And what I've done is I've put everything on twice the buy price as profit. So everything has a profit margin of 3, so or 300%. So we're buying it for 25, we're selling it for 75. Over here, we're buying for 7, we're selling for 21. And with these ones, buying for 6, selling for 18. And with guidebooks, we are buying for 5 and selling for 15. So this has actually managed to make it so we do actually make money per day. Now we're on not a huge amount, as you can see on some days we're still just scraping by. This is when we have to probably buy the mysis shrimp. I think that's probably what it is when that finally runs out, because they are really expensive. So we may want to be fairly selective about what we actually... Oh, hang on, press pause. What's this guy? Oh, you haven't been fed in 2 days. Okay. You are being fed now though, by someone who's extremely slow at feeding. Who are you? Zhao, you need your feeding skill upgraded, because that's ridiculous. Where are you? Zhao, you need your feeding skill to be upped just by 1. And that'll be your next level up. Need to actually click on you to get the notification gone. So yeah, I'm fairly happy now with where we are to be able to tick over. Another thing we can do to help us with the money is actually complete these quests so we get some new ones coming up. Now we did get some new shoulders last episode, so I think the first thing I want to do, we have a tank here which is completely empty, but we do have some space in this one as well. Now because of the modular tanks, they can swim anywhere, so it's going to look like they have a lot more space than they technically do to swim around in. So I could put some bannerfish into here, or I could start up a new tank with them in. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some into this tank here, just so that we've actually got stuff in there. It'll stop some of the negative prestige as well. So if we come to here, no, in fact, let's go to search. Let's just do shoaler. So here is the Sergeant Major. They need rock, they need orange pellets, so we're not actually increasing the amount of different variety of food that we're doing, which is good. But what is the Red Sea bannerfish? They need green pellets, so this is actually going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Because with this quest here, we need different green pellet eaters. So these Red Sea bannerfish here, if we place them into this tank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 of them. That's all I'm going to do for now. And then with this, I can add that onto this tank here, bring that into this network. Now that might mess up a few things. Let's just get rid of all of these. click on this tank here. We need some vegetation, but we can add that in fairly easily. And we're also going to need a bit, this is on this big network here, so we're also going to need a bit more filtration. So if we add in yet another large protein skimmer into here, that will sort the filtration out. Now we just need some vegetation. Let's actually do that from this menu here. We can see what we want to add in. We can go for... I think we can actually go for something like this. Can't we? Actually add some of that in? No, that does stick out. Okay. I'm not going to use the stuff that sticks out the top of the tank. So again, into here. I do like this Megaquarium, so we will stick a little bit of that around. Let's go for one there. Oh, that's in the wrong tank anyway. It's in this tank here. Let's just see. Do it like that. That'll give us a much better idea of where we need this stuff. So Megaquarium, we'll do 2 like that, and that'll be okay for that. What I want to do, I want to get everything in here, and then I want to do a proper pass at doing the vegetation and stuff, and make it look nice and pretty once we know what's in there. So it might look a bit bare and plain at the moment, but if you see my other series, you know I do like to eventually try and make the tanks look nice and pretty. But at the moment we're just kind of struggling to get by a bit. We've already spent, how much? 900, no, we spent, wow, okay, 2,600 already today. However, that should, I'm hoping, or does this all need to be in a single tank? I don't know. Which are my shoulders? Let me just go through this and find out where my shoulders are. So it looks like my shoulders are both in this tank down here. We do have the half and half chromis here. But because this hasn't actually updated to say that it's 3 out of 3, I think we're actually going to need to put these into this tank here. So I believe they're going to be okay because they are... Let's just make sure. Let's go back to... come off that for a minute. Oh well. Let's not then. Let's just put them in and see what happens. We are paused so we can take them back out. Yeah, there you go, you see. That's done it. Okay, so that's both of those completed. And let's get these ones out of there and put them into here. I'm actually going to keep 2 of them in there. No! Did not want to do that. Come off of move mode. So this one, tank here, wants to add tank to there. And that should be all of those. But this, oh okay, so I can't have the coral beauty in here now because these are bullies. Okay, so that coral beauty is going to have to move. Can it move just in? No, it can't go into this tank. Should be able to go into the half and half chromis tank, I would believe. And what I might be able to do here is just add some rubble in to give this some more filtration, but that hasn't worked. This whole filtration stuff has messed up now, so I need to add that back onto there to sort the filtration out, and we also need a bit more vegetation in here. So if we have a look at vegetation, we've got a load of this red algae all over anyway. We have medium kelp. Medium kelp's actually really good. Very expensive. And no wonder. Because it sticks right out. Okay. So let's put some red algae in for now, because it is nice, and we do have some over there anyway. And I think that is going to do it for now. So if we unpause, display is looking great. Here's the rest of the sponsorship money. That's really good. We're up to 12,200. I like that. Okay. So let's see where we can go next. I think something which is going to really boost our money income is to actually get rid of some of these guys. We have all of these prawn gobies here, and these eat mysis shrimp, and these mysis shrimp are actually really expensive. So if we replaced these with something which didn't take some very expensive food, and even if we got rid of some of these, to be honest with you, it would actually help us a lot. But I think because these were our science fish, so we needed them at the beginning to help us with the science output, but we don't have any more research to do now, so we don't actually need these at all. They're not shoalers, so we could just keep one of them, but having to replenish this mysis shrimp is actually really expensive. So what I'm going to do is we're going to change out some of the fish we have in here. We're going to get back all of the money from that, so that's a decent amount there, and we're going to sell off this mysis shrimp thing here, and we will actually I don't know if we can just reset him. You know, like in RimWorld, you can press space and yeah, okay, yeah, that worked. Just put him onto a new task. So this tank is currently lifeless, so if we want to put some more fish in here, we've just got a load of fish now that we can choose from. We don't have any other quests apart from this one quest here, so we can pretty much choose exactly what we want. Again, more of the ecology output would be nice, but again I need to make sure that I'm using some nice cheap stuff here. So something like the green or orange pellets would actually be really quite nice. And I remember I did something with these in one of my old campaigns, which it used vanilla fish, but I'm trying to find fish that are similar coloured but opposite, if you know what I mean. So like if we had this red, not red, what am I saying? If we have this blue and yellow fish here, and there was another one with blue on the bottom and yellow on the top, because they really do look quite nice together. We also did unlock another shoaler here, which may help us with some quests later on down the line. I tend to like giving out quests for shoalers. We have some, oh, there we go. So these two fish here, but this one eats mysis shrimp, so I don't want that. We do have the comet. We already got a comet in. It's really nice. The sturgeon fish, they're actually really quite good because they're big. I quite like the ones that are size 18. We have also got some of the sharks here, so we've already got the cat sharks in, but we do have the epaulet shark. Only goes up to 16. This needs a rounded tank, so we can't add that one in. Or we could add some rays in. Black diamond ray. It requires supplement though and krill. We do have supplement and krill already. It's science output though. We do have a Mediterranean moray eel. That's quite cool. We already have crab. Can't be added in with anything else, so this would just be one. What else is there? We do have another crab now, but they're tiny. Don't particularly want to add those in just yet. Yeah, having looked through the fish which are available to us, I think I'm going to go for these unicorn sturgeon fish. These grow up to size 18, so we can have 5 of them in the tank and it will be fine. So I think I'm just going to go for 5 of these. It gives us a lot of ecology output. It's very good with prestige. It eats green pellets, so it's nice and easy to feed. It does need quite a lot of filtration, but we're happy with the amount of filtration we've got for that. And grows up to 18 in 8 days. Needs a size 48 tank, but that's fine. Oh, when fully grown, it will require a tank of at least 108. So, we cannot have this in here. Glad I looked at that. So we can't have those in. So, my second choice was down here with, I think it's called the magnificent rabbitfish. However, cannot be housed with other species that eat green pellets. That doesn't matter too much because we're not going to have that in. So I think these will be okay having more than one of these in a tank together. So let's have a look. It was this tank here. 1 is okay. 2 is fine, yes. So we can have these. So I'm going to get 8 of these in total into there. Now we are having a couple of problems with our heat. So I think I am going to add in 1 more of our heaters onto here. And we're also going to need even more filtration. Wow, okay. So let's get both of these filters put in. So come up, a large filter. Now, when are we going to be able to go for this? That's the thing. If we said, I might have to do a bit of maths on this, because this is 33,000. But if we got rid of all of these, we can actually do it now. Let's get rid of cells per. We'll have to wait until they're upgraded, until they're done. So these sell for 600 each. So no, we'd need a lot more. So that's 8 times 6 plus 8 times 3. So this is only 2,400 here. And then this is only 4,800 here. Wow, that's expensive. So we're not going to be able to do that. But we should be okay with the amount of redundancy we have now, hopefully, he says. But yeah, let's let this run on for a while and see how that does. I'm interested to see, after a full day, this isn't a full day, but I will be interested to see just how much we are able to get. You can see we actually made money during all of that because the fish we took out and the feeding trough we took out was actually more expensive than the stuff we added back in. So there's the Dungeness crab. Let's go for our next one. I'm not really too worried about what I get now. I'm just getting everything so we can have a look at it later on. But after a full day, coming up to end of the day there, 469. Nice. So I'm going to let it run on for another week. See where we are with cash flow then. So I've just paused it here because a couple of things have just come up. I've realised that we have run out of the green pellets in here, so we're going to have to get another green pellet dispenser. However, what I'm thinking, we've got 16,000 now, so we actually have enough to be able to make a auto feeder. So if we have a look for auto, we can have a look. These are 12,500 each. However, this is going to mean that nobody is going to need to feed any green pellets to any of these guys again. So if we do that and that and that, we might as well add that one in as well. So now if we add in green pellets to here, this should technically feed multiple of these tanks. I don't exactly know how many, so it is gonna have to be something we keep an eye on. But it should ease the amount of feeding that people do. And I want to start adding these in as much as we can around this tank with various different types of pellet in it, because I think it's really going to help us. The other thing I've done is I have increased the price yet again of these tetras. I've increased them up to 99. Now this is a huge amount of money to spend on these. As you can see, people are still actually going in and buying them. Now if I increase this to 100, people will just walk away from it. But now you can see people are coming in. They don't like it. It is tanking our prestige. If we have a look, minus 14 for that. But we're actually getting more, but our masked pufferfish look stressed. Where are they? Where are the masked pufferfish? Oh, they're in here. What's wrong with these guys? Oh, they're wimps. And they can't be housed with Buddy. Okay, sorry, I didn't realise that of you. I can take you out and add you into that one. And you'll be happy. But we do need some cave in here now. That completely passed me by, I did not realise that. So we have a decent amount of space in here. We can scroll down. I don't want to get anything really expensive like that. So these are all the backgrounds. I wish you could kind of say I want cave but not a background. Can you do that? Is this still going to give us all the backgrounds? Yes, it is. I want to filter it out so that I don't get the backgrounds, because there's a huge amount of backgrounds here and I'm not really interested in them at all for this tank. However, over here we have some quite nice stuff here. We only need 6 cave, so I'm looking for something along the lines of this, maybe. Large brown stone group 2. I quite like this one compared to that one. Yeah, let's go for that. And we'll turn it around to be that way. We'll put it right down at the front, just there. Oh, sorry, no, we actually need 8, not 6. Let's go back and let's get a nice small one as well. A small brown stone group there. That's a nice, much smaller one compared to that. Let's replace that one there. And they are happy. Okay, so now that should start increasing this all again. Fizzy drink is really expensive, guidebook's really expensive, yeah, but you're still buying them. So stop buying them and I'll decrease the price. So if we now have a look at our cash flow, you can see that we spent a lot of money there, but we are steadily making money. And let's just let this tick over, because we did actually lose a lot of money there. 978 per day. Okay. Now there will be days where that goes down quite drastically. There will be days where that levels off. I think this is quite a high day. But yeah, I think I'm okay for money now, which is good. Because I need to start making money hand over fist to be able to complete this level. I think one of the things which is really going to help us with this is to try and push towards rank 7 as soon as possible, so we can try and get some more of the gift shops unlocked. Now, one of the things which could really get us there very, very quickly, I've recently installed a new mod on here which looks incredible. It's a museum exhibits mod which adds in some very, very cool stuff. And I really want to show you this because it's one of the first mods of this type that I've ever seen, and it adds in all of these. So I haven't really quite worked out how to use all of this yet, but we have some things like a large ammonite fossil here, which you can see has a huge radius and it's tiny. Like that. And we have, that's only 2,000, but it doesn't say that it adds any kind of benefit at all. Now these ones, you can't just place these onto the ground, invalid placement location. You actually have to use one of these showcase cabinets here. So I want to try this just very quickly and actually see what this does. So I'm going to place that down there. And the textures on it are a little bit vague at the moment. I think it's very, very bright, like birch wood and a bright white back, So compared to the other stuff in the game, it's a little bit more, I don't know if it's a bit more low poly, a little bit more high poly, I'm not too sure. But it does stick out quite a lot. So there may want to be a little bit of texture work done just to remove the brightness from this a little bit. But now we have this in place, we can actually go and put one of these large ammonite fossils into here, like that. We can see how people interact with it, what they do, but I think this is just a showcase piece for now, because nobody seems to be doing anything with it. So if we get rid of these two, and then we can have a look at what else is here. You may have already seen what I'm coming up towards here. Now we have some stuff which is actually does give prestige. So we have things like a taxidermied swordfish here, and so if we place this against the wall over here, we can place that on there. We come down to ground level again. Now this has the same kind of birchwood backing to it. It's kind of a sand coloured birchwood back to it, which again, the brightness on this may want to be looked at just because it really does stand out. I know that it is supposed to with these, it's just something I picked up, which it would be nice if it kind of fit a little bit more into the textures of the game rather than standing out exactly like that on its own. I don't know, that might just be me. But that will give us a little bit of prestige with that. Not too much, and I'm not sure how people actually interact with it, but it is supposed to give us some prestige there. Now, if we have a look at the big stuff in this one, I mean, that was 7,000 we just spent there. If we have a look at the giant squid specimen, actually no, let's have a look at Megalodon first, because this is only like 3 wide, so we can actually put that there. People would still be able to look at this, and they'd be able to go for this as well. That's really quite cool. And then we have stuff like a giant squid specimen. So we're starting to get a little bit bigger. That might be quite cool. And then we have the plesiosaur real life model, which gets a bit bigger. That's really cool. I love plesiosaurs. I don't know if anyone's played Ark Survival Evolved, but the plesiosaurs in that were one of my favourite deep sea creatures. Until the mosasaur came along, of course. And then we have the big one, the blue whale skeleton. Now this is huge, and this is really what I want to put in here, but look at how big it is. However, it was made for that space right there. Look how perfect that is. You have one space on either side, so move it over by one. You can see it's in line with the top, with the edge of the tank there. And if we move it over by one on this side, it's in line there, so it fits perfectly into this space. And we only need 40,000 for this. Now that is a huge amount of money. However, it does give us 81 prestige per person per day that views this thing. Now I'm really hoping that the actual prestige for these does count, because I'm going to add in this plesiosaur model here, and we're going to find out. So we're going to find out what happens with this. So just going to have a look at the people around this, people that view it, or just does it just give us like prestige per day? How does this actually work? Does it need to be inside a tank for it to work? Stuff like that. That's what we need to find out. So I've been watching this stuff for a while now, and none of these things seem to... Oh no, there you go. That has just then. That's the first time I've seen that, but it has just then worked with these Megalodon jaws. Now these don't actually say that they produce any, but look, they are. They actually are producing prestige for us. Now does it say what that was for? Megalodon jaws. I really like those Megalodon jaws. +9. Okay, but I have not seen it on these two at all. So I think what I'm going to do, if we take this out and we take that out, we're actually really close now. It's only going to be a couple more days before we get it. We're on 37,000. We're getting about 1,000 per day, so in 3 days time we should be able to get this big the blue whale one in. And I think if we get another one of these on this side, because we know that this definitely works, and if we get the blue whale in the middle and another megalodon on this side, and I think we should be good, so long as, now this is the big if, so long as the blue whale thing actually does produce some prestige. And what I might do between episodes is actually reach out to the mod maker and see if it has been fully implemented yet, see exactly how we're actually supposed to use this mod, because it's a really interesting mod. I love the idea of it, I love the design of it, the models look incredible, and if we look at this, wow, that's just really cool. If I saw that coming into an aquarium and I saw they had like megalodon jaws up on the wall, that would be incredible. I'd love that. Okay, it is time for the moment of truth. We have 41,000 now. And so let's go down, blue whale skeleton. We will place this down just there. And wow, okay. Now, the textures on these leave a lot to be desired, to be honest. But it's an incredible thing. See, this is what's possible in this game. Now, if you can make models this big, just think that you can make actual creatures this big. So it would actually be possible to make a full-size mosasaur. Oh, I wonder. There's one for the mod makers out there. Could you take... Obviously you couldn't actually release this as a mod, but for your own private games. Could you take the models from Ark Survival Evolved, the mosasaur and the plesiosaur, and actually import them into this game at full scale? And could you make a tank that could actually house something this big? Because I would love Megaquarium Survival Evolved. I'd love that mod pack. But yeah, that's a challenge out there to any mod makers that are up for it. Try to make something this big that can be housed in a tank and swim around. Actually be animated. So I've added another one of these megalodon jaws onto this side. I've just been having a look at the mod manager here, and this is the mod here, Kadar's Bazaar, the museum displays. And you can open this up in Workshop, and one of the really nice things with this mod, I love the humour aspect of it, but I've only just found out, to be honest. I didn't know this. This megalodon jaw, when people view this, it fulfills the restroom need. So it's so terrifying that people actually go to the toilet. So they don't need to go in here. If anyone needs the loo, they can just come to here instead of going to here, and then their toilet need is fulfilled. That's brilliant. I love that. So I wanted to test this out a little bit more with these blue whale statues here. So I've come into a sandbox world, and I've just put a few of these in place. And I've left it running. It's now on day 7 or day 8, whatever it is, day 7, and nothing's happened at all. I've even gone to the trouble of going into the data files for these things and actually adding in all of the arrows around the outside for visitor and staff access. just to see if that would actually increase them as like an attraction type thing, but it doesn't seem to do anything at all. These are also too big to fit in any tank. If we take these 3 out, we just have a look at the biggest tanks in the game, the mega tanks. And all of these are the same size. If we have a look at the regular mega tank from the base game here, and if we drag that out to its biggest size, start at one further out from the back and one further out from the side, you can see that it comes out. Let's put in a divider wall there. We get rid of that one, and this is the biggest capacity at 3,200. You can see all the others are about 2,800, down to 2,240. So if we grab this one and we start that in the same place, you can see maximum size is the same there. I don't think we can do it there. There we go. So yeah, you can see it's the same size coming out to here. And then if we grab one of these ones, you can see it's still too big to be able to fit into here. So it's not a case that we have to have these inside a tank at all. So Kadar, if you are watching at all, how do you use these things? Is it just a decorative item at the moment, or can you actually use this prestige at all? I don't mind if you can't use prestige item. I love them, and I'm definitely going to keep it in the actual aquarium we have built up. Let's actually head back there. So if we go to load game, brutal modded campaign mode, and load game, and yeah, it's in here. So we're going to keep it in here, but yeah, if you have any tips on how to use this thing properly, where we can actually get the prestige from it, that would be highly advantageous. But that is where we're going to leave it for today. Just realised how long this video has gone on, so yeah, we are going to carry this on next episode and hopefully raise our prestige up. I'll try and find a way of getting it up high enough to be able to get to rank 7, because I think this level has started to drag on just a little bit now, and I really want to get through it. I used to love this level, but in modded and especially in brutal, I'm finding it very difficult to actually get on by and get up to rank 7. So yeah, we'll start a real push to get up to rank 7 next episode. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.